Hello, it's Cara, and today we're doing my November TBR. Who's so ambitious. I don't know why I'm being so ambitious. It's November, which means it's National Novel Writing Month, which means I'm going to be trying to write a 50,000 word novel this month. I'll hopefully have some writing updates coming through the month for that. But which means I'm on a limited time for reading, because writing has to take priority. Yet still I have like 16 books on this TBR, so let's get going. First off, we have the book I'm currently reading, which is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. This is a fantasy. It's like, the way I'm describing it, because that's the only way I can see it right now, is if Harry Potter was a teen rom-com. It's very intentional that it's got Harry Potter references. And it's hilarious, and it's classic Rainbow Rowell. Like, classic Rainbow Rowell set in a fantasy world, and I love it. It is so good. I'm like a third of the way through. As soon as I've done this, I'm going to go to read some. It is so good. So good. Then on the topic of Harry Potter this month, I also want to read The Philosopher's Stone in this beautiful illustrated edition. I haven't reread Harry Potter in years, and I'm just really excited to read it again. So I'm going to attempt to do that this month with illustrations. Then I went to the library and got a couple of library books, which I shouldn't have done, but who cares? I've made my choices, now I live with them. So I have 6 library books I'm going to show you, all of which I really want to get read this month, and I'm kind of on a deadline because they're library books, so hopefully I'll get to them. First off, we have Side Effects May Vary by Julie Murphy. This is a contemporary about a girl named Alice who thinks she's dying of cancer, who's like terminal, so she makes a bucket list and ticks off a lot of things, but it's a lot about revenge and less about getting things done. And then it turns out she goes into remission, so now she's got to figure out how to cope having made all these last-minute revenge plots that she wasn't going to have to deal with the consequences of, and then suddenly she does have to deal with them. I've had this on my radar for ages, and I'm very excited to read it. I also have here Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I've had this floating around on my radar, like higher than my radar for ages, but I can never justify buying it. But now that Six of Crows has come out, and that looks amazing, because like assassins, I want to read this so that I know the world. So I'm going to pick this up this month with any luck. The second one is also at the library, and if I like them, I might actually purchase them. I also picked up A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. The cover looks so fluoro in the camera. It's not actually that orange. It's a little bit pinker, redder in actual fact, but white balance. This is obviously by Sarah J. Maas. Maas? I'm sorry, I know this has been going around, but I can never remember. My memory is horrible. And this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I've heard wonderful things. I've heard mixed things, but some people I trust say it's really good, so I'm going to give it a try. And if I like this, I will also buy it, seeing as I own all the other books by Sarah J. Maas. And we also have The Sacred Lies of Minnow Bly. I originally had this on my wish list, and then I saw it, I was getting other stuff from the library, and I thought I would just get it, and then if I really enjoy it, I'll purchase it. This is about a girl, it sounds so fascinating, this is about a girl who is at a juvenile detention center with her hands having been chopped off, and she was part of a cult, and it's exploring all of that, and it's just fascinating. I'm so keen to read this. This one, if I don't get to this month, I'll be so disappointed. I also have Magonia by Maria Davana Headley. Oh, this was by Stephanie Oakes. I didn't say that. Whenever there's names in titles, I forget. I'm sorry. Magonia by Maria Davana Headley. This is just stunning. Like 80% cover borrow. I was going to say cover buy, but I borrowed it. Gorgeous cover. This follows a girl called Aza, who has a mysterious lung disease, but then she discovers this world called Magonia where she doesn't have that and she can breathe like a normal person. And I'm excited to read it. But like, that cover though. That cover. Like, I'm sorry for the glare because it's like library wrapped, but that cover. And finally, from the library, we have The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This, my mom's currently reading this, so it's got a bookmark in it, and I'm going to read it next. This is a historical fiction, Greek stuff. Yeah, Achilles. It gives it away. It's historical, and apparently amazing. And Mum picked it up off the shelf at the library and was like, this looks kind of cool. What do you think? And I'm like, I've heard of that. I've seen people review it. I've seen it all over Bookla. I have to. So I'm gonna. Mum picked this off, so she's reading it first, but this is gonna get read this month too. I'd also like to read, if I get time, the final Shadowhunter Academy novella. That one I should probably get around to. What's it called? Angels Twice Ascending, Descending. That should hopefully get read. I also want to read An Ember in the Ashes by Sabah Tahir. This is a fantasy set in a Middle Eastern inspired world, I think. This cover I don't like anywhere near as much as the American cover, but we're living with it. It's fine. Covers don't really bother me that much. I'm excited to read this. I also want to read Fallen Kingdoms and Rebel Spring by Morgan Rhodes. This is a fantasy series which is called Game of Thrones for young adults. That excites me. I want to read them. I've heard amazing things, and if I enjoy these two, I may order more in the series. Yeah. And the last book I have physically with me is Library of Souls by Ransom Riggs. This is a creepy, it's the third in the trilogy, it's creepy. It has both photos and writing, and follows a guy called, what's his name? Jacob. It's really exciting. The first one is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Read it. It's good. I hope to get around to this. And finally, this is only 13 books if you were counting, which I wouldn't have been. But to make up to the 16 I've been promising, I have 3 books that are currently on order. Well, currently they're only on my wish list, but in like 2 days I'm going to order them. And I hope to read those this month as well. The first of which is Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. I'm going off the top of my head here. I'm just pulling stuff out of my brain. And this is a graphic novel that everyone's been raving about. I'm excited. I'm going to change my view a bit. So, wrong way. That way. Yeah. So I've got a bit of space to put the cover. I am so excited about this. Apparently there's shape-shifting and medieval stuff. Come at me. It looks amazing. I will definitely get this read because it's a graphic novel. I read graphic novels relatively fast. I also am going to pick up Illuminae by I'm putting it right in the way. Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and I was going to say Megan Spooner. It's not Megan Spooner. It's Jay Kristoff. This is a sci-fi book told, I think it's the first in a trilogy, and it's told in a dossier style, so there's no slabs of prose. It's all like files and letters and things, which is just like, sign me up. Sign me right up. I am keen for that. So I will almost definitely be reading that this month because I'll get it in my hands and I'll practically fly through it, I'm sure. And finally, I've ordered The Heart of Betrayal by... what's her name? I'm looking it up. Mary E. Pearson. I was on the right track. Mary E. Pearson, and this is the sequel to The Kiss of Deception, which is a fantasy story where the girl, I think she's a princess, I'm going by memory, I read this like last year, or early this year, is on the run from an arranged marriage, and both the prince and an assassin her father sent after her, I think it's her father that sends it, are both coming after her, and she meets them both but doesn't know which is which. And by the time you finish that book, you know, but it leaves you on a huge cliffhanger. So I'm also buying that, and I'm also going to want to read it very quickly because cliffhangers. So, yeah. This is my huge TBR. It's very ambitious, especially since I'm also writing a novel this month. But I have written 10,000 words in a day before, which means really my 50,000 word novel is like 5 days. That's not true. It'll take me most of the month. But hopefully I can space myself out, and if I'm writing my requisite amount of words each day, I can also get a good chunk of books read, which is my hope. So I will see you soon with another video. I will hopefully have some stuff up, NaNoWriMo things, maybe some tag videos. But knowing me, I might not get anything up because I'm the worst and I only remember to film videos right on the turn of the month. But I will see you soon with another video, hopefully, and I will see you then. Comment down below if you've read any of these because I'd like to hear what your thoughts are. No spoilers. No spoilers. Please and thank. Bye!